So in this video, I'm going to teach you guys 2 triangle style moves. These are extensions of other moves I have seen, but I don't think I've seen these ideas come together in one move. So there's going to be a more beginner version and a more intermediate version, but none of them are super hard. So let's get started with the beginner version. So the beginner version is pretty much the classic one that you see that starts in Z grip and then it has this closer. I don't think I've seen anyone do that closer, but it's pretty simple and I think it looks kind of satisfying the way it falls. So to start, you're going to want to start in dealer's grip in your non-dominant hand. Then you're going to take your dominant hand and grab on the bottom with your thumb and the top with your middle finger. And you're going to break off about 2/3 of the deck with your thumb while keeping contact with your index finger, and use your middle finger to break off half of that packet to get into Z grip. And then from here, you want to grip this middle packet with your middle finger and thumb just to hold it in place like so, so that you can let go with this packet and slide down to where your thumb of your dominant hand goes back to the bottom packet. And then you want to kind of push a little bit and let go of that middle packet so that it kind of gets pushed upward to where that edge touches your dominant middle finger. And then you should be able to hold it all together by using your non-dominant index finger, dominant middle finger, and dominant thumb. And that's of course your triangle. So it should be pretty simple, though it might take just a little bit of practice. Again, you just want to focus on pushing this packet and bringing it upward to connect with your thumb down here. And then for the closer, turn your dominant hand wrist over, bottom packet becomes face up, and then your thumb takes over that grip with your index finger. And you want to angle your thumb to where it's in this vertical position, perpendicular to the edge of that packet. So now you're in this position, and you want to keep moving your dominant hand wrist until you can lay this packet between your 2 thumbs onto these 4 fingers of your non-dominant hand into a dealer's grip or straddle grip. And then this packet can fall on top, and then you're left with this packet vertically here, and you can just push with your index finger to get that to fall. Now it might add a little bit of strain on your wrist, so be careful. So I think that just adds just a little bit more flair, because I've seen other closers that are just like this, which I can go over really quickly as well. So you get back into the triangle position, but instead of having that triangle rotation, you're just going to take your index finger to push that packet closed while clipping this top packet with your middle finger and index finger. So you're clipping it, and then you're going to fold it against your index finger while you're moving your hand downward, and that's going to get that packet to go face down instead of like that. It's going to flip, and then once you get to where you can close, you're going to move your index finger and middle finger out of the way and create some space, but your thumb's on the back to kind of hold it in place, and your pinky is on bottom so it doesn't fall. You can slide that packet behind the deck like so. One small note, once you get this packet on the bottom, I like to use my index finger to just kind of slide along the edge to skirt up the packet on bottom, or else you'll just leave it jaggedy. So those are 2 closers for the standard triangle move that you can play around with, and then of course you can create your own. But now we'll move on to the more intermediate style. So this one, the opener is from Slide Angle by Nate Lex. And then it's got this mechanic of putting the base packet into the triangle, which I saw from another cardist. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the name, but if you know who had this idea of tossing the packet around inside the triangle, please let me know. And then this closer is sort of from Nate Likes, but also kind of just my own idea. And then of course you can come up with your own closers for this as well. But to get started, first off, I will leave the tutorial for slide angle down in the description, but I'm going to go over it here as well. So first, you want to start in straddle grip and come over again to break off into Sybil position for this middle packet. You're going to contact by your middle finger and take over that grip with your ring finger so that you can let go with your middle finger. And you're going to place your middle finger on the back so that you can kind of clip that middle packet, and then you're going to push with your middle finger until it contacts your index finger of your non-dominant hand. So that's where the slide part comes in. So once you slide it to your index finger, you can put your middle finger back and contact these two edges back together to create that triangle. So basically we just have a triangle, but now with this extra base packet in our non-dominant hand. And then from here, we're going to take our thumb of our non-dominant hand and contact the bottom of that triangle while turning our wrist over to where it's face up so that our thumb can take over that grip. And now we have both the thumbs contacting this bottom side of the triangle. And then you're just kind of holding onto the base packet by pinching with your ring finger, middle finger, and pinky finger. I said those in the wrong order, but you get the point. And then your index finger kind of helps grip it on the top. So you're just holding on so that you shouldn't drop it, like if you do this. Where you're going to put this base packet into the triangle. So you kind of are in this position. And then it's kind of hard to see, but you're just going to move your non-dominant hand to place that packet. You want to move your index finger out of the way, and you just want to make it right there so that you can slide it in. And then from here, it's pretty straightforward. You can let go, and now you're holding that packet inside the triangle. Now you want to keep your pinky finger here on the bottom just so it doesn't fall. So once you put the packet into the triangle, you want to take over the grip of your non-dominant thumb with your non-dominant index finger by doing this little pinch motion to keep the edges together, and then let go with your thumb. So then your index fingers should be facing each other. Originally I had explained it where you rotate it like that. Don't do that. Just grip it. That's how the switch goes. And then your index finger will stay in that orientation the entire time that you're doing the packet flipping. And basically it's just a matter of turning your dominant wrist up and down. So it's like down, up, down, up, down, up. It might be helpful to practice in front of a mirror. So here's the packet flipping from the front, turning your wrist of your dominant hand to where it goes up and then it falls, and then you bring it back down to where it falls, and then bring it back under to where it falls, and bring it back up to where it falls. And then you have these fingers down here at the bottom to ensure that it doesn't fall. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try and get a better angle to show it, as well as hopefully if you just play around with it, it'll become a little bit more intuitive. You can really do the flip as many times as you want. The only thing is that if you want to do my closer, you need to have this packet that you're going to get in straddle to be face up, since you align it with this face up packet on the top. But basically, once I get back to here with the front of this packet facing my fingertips, replace my thumb back with my index finger so I can let go with my index finger, and then grab this packet in straddle grip like so and pull it out. Then we're going to rotate it back, the triangle, until your thumb can reorient itself and then both thumbs are pointing at each other. Then you're going to bring this packet on top to where they are both face up, and you want to push the packet down with your middle and ring finger here so it becomes one big packet. And then from here you can just close it like that if you want, but what I like to do is add another little flip. So I'll regrip this big packet by putting my index finger on this long edge and moving my thumb to the front, and then pinch this small packet with my middle finger and thumb. And then I'm going to take this entire structure and place the edges on my middle finger and ring finger to lay it flat into my palm like that, while keeping this one vertically, and then move my index finger out of the way so that I can use my middle finger and ring finger to push that packet up into my hand to close, and then I can regrip with my index finger here, put my thumb, my non-dominant thumb, on the back of the packet, and flip that packet around the thumb to land back in dealer's grip. So slide, triangle, put the packet in, catch with pinky, regrip with index finger, flip, 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 then you can replace the grip and do the closer. Alright guys, so that was the tutorial for those two triangle style moves, and if you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know down in the comments down below. I know this wasn't particularly new or a troubleshooting video, but hopefully you still find these moves enjoyable, and I think they are quite fun and they have a lot of versatility. You can turn them into a different move, you can go into combos, and it's of course just a nice display because it's a easily recognizable shape. So hopefully not too bad, not too hard, and yeah. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comments down below as well. But that's pretty much everything. So if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, because new videos will be coming out soon, of course. Also, just want to pop in and say thank you for the additional 50 subscribers who have joined since my 2000 giveaway announcement, even though it wasn't that long ago. I don't know if it was just the influx of people subscribing because they wanted to enter the giveaway, but hopefully those who did subscribe recently do stick around, because I am trying to get more cardistry content out there. I know a lot of other cardistry YouTubers have kind of become inactive, and though I have become a little bit less active than I used to be because of school and life, I am still trying to get content out to you guys and provide you guys with good tutorials and troubleshooting videos that hopefully you still enjoy. And then I also enjoy making these videos for myself and to help you guys. So it's a win-win, and I hope to keep going. So please stick around. Thank you. And going back, this was a very different setting than what I usually film in, but the lighting is quite nice, and hopefully it wasn't too echoey with the audio. I tried my best to fix it. So yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.